welcome back to another episode of Fallout 76. Today we return where we left off last episode, and today is the finale, the very last of our early Fallout 76 gameplay, and today is the craziest of all the gameplay. That city you guys are seeing in the distance, a very high level city we are actually going to be wandering our way into. But first things first, we gotta go ahead and investigate a Keemstar murder scene because, well, I'm just seeing an army of gnomes, and there appears to be a very dead body, dude. At this point, I'm spooked. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like talking to my team, just like, you guys know about like any mysterious gnome deaths in the area? They didn't really have much of a response, so I'm just continuing being freaked out and thinking, I wonder if this is like connected to anything, or if this is just one of those like random little Fallout things. But you guys hear that? Whenever you pick up one of those gnomes, they have that creepy little laugh. So I don't know what's going on. Shouts out to that body for the caps, not shouts out for any rads I might have picked up from it. But our journey continues as we head towards that. And like I was saying, this is the last episode of our early Greenbrier event footage that we had. Huge thank you to Bethesda for inviting us out and flying us out to such a wonderful event. But we're heading over to this town. I think it's called Watauga, or what? The name will pop up and we'll actually understand. But in a second here, there should be an audio file playing right now.
Attention citizens, Watoga is under a state of
Watoga,
emergency and
that's what it's called.
evacuation order. Do not attempt to enter the city limits, and for God's sake, get out if you're still here. Unless you are military or a roboticist. In that case, if you can do so safely, make your way to the mayor's office in the municipal center.
And Watoga, or what? Dude, I already forgot how. Watoga, that's what it's called, dude. I cannot pronounce that freaking city name for some reason. But we're gonna go ahead and venture on towards there, and what appears to be a very interesting quest in what will end up being a very high level area. As you guys are seeing, we're attacking level 23s, and we're only like level 7 at this point. But you know, we're still putting up a little bit of a fight, and there's a little outpost over here that we want to go ahead and put a little bit of work into. And even though these enemies are very much so higher level, we can still do a pretty solid number on them, which is nice, at least until we come across the leader enemy. Then things might get a little bit more problematic. But let's go ahead and get ourselves some shotgun raid. This is the very first shotgun we have picked up in our entire stay. And yeah, the loot in this corner, Watoga, I don't know why that word is just tongue twisted in my mind. As we're gonna be checking it out, we're gonna be coming across some very nice weapons, huge upgrades compared to what we had before, as we continue checking out the Appalachian antiques, and we find a Brotherhood corpse. The Brotherhood confirmed to be in this game with that little body that we just found right there. I'm guessing they might have some connections to Watoga, and I don't know, it's kind of interesting because that priority message as you come in kind of does direct you towards whatchamacallit, actually ends up directing you towards to go to the mayor's office, and I think that might like unfold some sort of like solid quest line, which I can't wait to go ahead and check out in the full version, which is going to be coming with the beta coming out later this month, and of course the full Fallout 76 game coming out next month that we are going to be all over. So make sure that you guys are subscribed with that notification bell to stay up to date with the series, because while we might be done with our early 3 hours of Greenbrier footage after this, as soon as that beta's out, we gonna be all over that puppy doing everything we can, because I'm so excited for Fallout 76. I'm a huge survival open world player, and then given the fact that I freaking love Fallout, to see them combined into something like this, it's a beautiful thing, let me say. Just like those misses I was having over there were not very beautiful, but some of these shots I'm able to dish out as soon as we reload the shotgun with some shotgun rain are gonna be very wonderful with all the damage that these bad boys are doing, and all the EXP we're getting, because these guys do give a solid amount of EXP. I think my arm's broken from the little vault boy on the left side of the screen, kind of, you know, he had a little cast around his arm, so that might be problematic. I'm trying to ask some of my team if they can't catch up with me, but they're actually in the middle of like exploring a mine or something, and it would have been very handy to have them catch up with me, because we're attacking a level 54 Scorch controller. Yeah, I think those are like kind of like the boss leaders of these guys. I was trying to see if that was like maybe fire. I think that was just a normal puddle, but yeah, the Scorched controller that is level 54. He is not a pushover, as you guys are seeing from the damage we're inflicting to him. It's not a lot of damage, even with a semi-powerful weapon such as a bolt-action pistol, which does do, I think, like 40 or so damage. I'm trying to go ahead and frag out a little bit here, hopefully blow him up, and hopefully blow up the car right next to him, too. And from that mini nuclear blast, I don't know if we really managed to do too much damage. At this point, he's starting to like go hide in the brush and be a little cheeky booger like that, but we'll continue our attack with him. But yeah, I cannot wait for the full game to come out. We're gonna be doing a much more extensive series and not just kind of like running through a lot of these locations, but we're gonna be taking our time, adventuring through, exploring these locations a little bit more in depth, and of course going through many more quest lines, base building, doing all that type of jazz. I'm so excited for this game, so hopefully you guys do stick around because we're gonna be all over it as soon as that beta comes out. And honestly, I think it's like 10 days, isn't it? Like, we're getting really close. There's gonna be a little bit of a gap in between this last episode of our Greenbrier footage and us beating this guy with an axe. This is a very nice axe, may I add. This multi-purpose axe we got at some point. And check out what we got there, an M79 grenade launcher. And something else, I couldn't exactly see what that other one was because the text was a little bit small, but yeah, we got, I think that was the strengthened marine armor. We got a freaking grenade launcher. Unfortunately, that thing is level 15, but that's what I'm talking about, dude. The weaponry as you venture out further from the center, from the beginning of the map, oi, it gets juicy, lads. And that grenade launcher, while we couldn't get up to level 15 when we are doing our full playthrough, and we actually can get to such high levels when we're not limited to 3 hours of total gameplay, we're gonna be doing so much dope things with weapons like that. Here we got this guy, level 40. I'm just trying to, I'm kind of contemplating right now. Do I attack him? Do I let him be? Sounds like he's enjoying some classical music. I think I just decide to let him be and try to see what is over here on the second floor. But then he notices me, so I'm like, yeah, all right, well, I guess we gotta deal with that. Another Brotherhood corpse as well, dude. That Brotherhood connection. Some people were saying that the Brotherhood has no business being here in West Virginia, that it wouldn't make sense for them to be here, yet here we have confirmation that in some capacity, I don't know if they're actively gonna be here, if maybe, I mean, I don't know, it would make sense. We've seen the Brotherhood in a lot of Fallout games. It would make sense for us to see them again, maybe as some sort of a faction. Maybe since we're seeing their bodies nearby, they might be over in Watauga. Maybe that have to do with like the mayor's office or something like that. But whatever it is, we're either going to be finding their dead bodies and a little bit of backstory through them through holotapes, or there will be an active quest line we can pursue. And I would love to go down a Brotherhood quest line because Brotherhood quests are always super dope. But as you guys can see here, we are making our way up and forwards through the location. Over there, I don't know what, those guys are getting in a shootout with someone. They left me alone, which is nice. But at this point, I think we're, well, we're getting pretty close to being over encumbered, which is a little bit problematic, but we're making our way towards Watoga. And as that happens, it gets misty, it gets spooky. So it's, I don't know really what to expect moving forward. And not to spoil anything, this is the wildest place in my entire Fallout 76 playthrough that I had up till this point. This place is next level. That's all I'm gonna say. You guys are about to see firsthand the nuttiness and the craziness that can pursue. But for now, I'm just trying to kind of scheme up, you know, what to maybe do with here, because I'm like, all right, it's obviously not going to be a low-level location. Even that little antique store on the outskirts, that had some tough enemies, so you have me over here trying to prepare a little bit and down a couple things that might help us out. Not to mention, make sure that we keep our survival up with the hydration and with the food before ultimately moving forward and whoop, falling into that ditch. A lot of those. Be a little bit careful about those bad boys, but as you can see, there's a little bit of a miniature wall as we have discovered Watauga, and they are not friendly. They had the Watauga Protectron government worker already shooting at us, making friends. So that is one faction that is present in Watauga. You actually do have like the government workers of Watauga, the Protectrons of the city. Over there, you guys can see my buddy Vagabond did fast travel to me to assist me a little bit because this city is pretty on the loco side, and I don't know if I would have been able to do this alone. Having him alongside is definitely a nice boost. I think he ended up like being actually within the city somehow through the fast travel, so I'm just trying to go ahead and engage in combat with this government worker, and we're chipping away at his health little bit by little bit. Definitely maybe shouldn't have bum rushed here if this was the full game and it wasn't just us playing for 3 hours. I don't think I'd bum rush over here as quickly. I'd probably try to level up a little bit, do some quests in other zones, which is exactly what is going to be going on in that full series. But nonetheless, gotta make do with what I want, and I wanted to show off what we could and reveal as much about Fallout 76 and what to expect as possible, and no better way than YOLOing it all the way over here. We are also over encumbered by 3 pounds, so at this point I'm just like, all right, what do I got to get rid of? You know, the classic Fallout inventory management. But I'm just hearing a lot of robots. I do not even want to chill over by there. it's looking a little bit spooky. So I think the game plan I end up going with is just trying to settle down. We'll move our camp over here and just try to, because whatchamacallit, if we move our camp, we have the stash, and then we can just put a lot of our stuff away into the stash. As you guys can see, we couldn't really put it super close to the city because you're not allowed to put your camp too close to major cities and major settlements. I'm guessing Watauga, it's pretty major, dude, at least from looking on the map. That might be one of, if not the biggest towns slash cities throughout the entire map. But here, I just want to go ahead and put down the blueprint from what we had going before, and I'm just looking for the stash for us to go ahead, plump on down, and go ahead and get to accessing so we don't have over 175 pounds of stuff up in our inventory. Definitely not the best. Our stash actually was starting to grow pretty nicely, so I can't wait until that full version, because then we'll actually be able to put a lot of that to use, build up a lot of things for our base, build up different structures, etc., etc., and have ourselves an absolutely fan-freaking-tastic time. You guys can see I found a freaking, that's what we found. We found a piece of power armor. It requires level 50, so nowhere close to being able to use that, but we did find a piece of power armor, which was very, very nifty. They had the binoculars we found from a couple episodes ago. If you guys haven't, make sure to go ahead and check out the rest of the series. We've been going through all 3 hours of Fallout footage. I've been trying to kind of explain it as we go, commentate over it, and maybe clear things up that might not be painfully obvious, and or clear up any painfully oblivious things I do. A lot of pain when you're a derp like me, but it's okay. For the most part, I ain't too derpy. There you guys can see the government workers. It actually seems that they are deployed from those little workstations, or kind of like little like, I don't want to call them a telephone booth, but you know what I mean? Those kind of like little pods throughout the city, because I think that's the same area where the other one that we killed came from. So, I mean, it's good combat, it's good EXP, but rather dangerous, to say the least. So, see ya later, alligator. I'm done with you, and I'm trying to catch up to my buddy Vagabond, who is witnessing something interesting. Over by him, there's a shootout, I believe, between super mutants and the government workers of the city, and this is where Watoga is insane. It's not just filled with enemies trying to kill you, it is filled with enemies trying to kill each other, and you're just kind of wandering into it like, oh, hi diddly ho there, neighbors. It is absolute insanity. So the super mutants are one faction that can be found through here. You do have the robot faction, which isn't just government protectrons. There's also like I think there's assaultrons, or whatever those really spooky ones that shoot giant laser beams at you are. I think there's like freaking flying iBots, and I think there might even be I think the Scorched. I think the Scorched are present here as well, making it minimum 3 different factions in this little area. You guys can see that there is a good amount of quests for us to check out, and this is gonna, I think genuinely this is gonna be a poppin' location. There's probably gonna be a lot to do here. Obviously, little bit of a cesspool, as some might say, given well, all the murder going on a crazy scale. But the good news is you could kind of sneak past the murder because they're all busy murdering each other. Check this out. A crashed vertibot from which we got a short assault rifle, one of the best weapons we found up until this point. I'm just trying to loot it up a little bit, see what's going on, and check it out, baby. Some T60 power armor for us that you know I had to go ahead and claim. Mr. Handy's trying to stop me from claiming what is rightfully now mine, but Mr. Handy, I'm sorry to say, you ain't gonna be stopping me today. I have set you on fire. There's not much you can do against fire, but you guys can see the government workers are back at it. Like, that's what I mean. This Watoga is just, it's insanity all over the place. And we're not even seeing super mutants right now, but I did toss that granata. The car's on fire. We got some nuclear chain reaction blasts. And I think that just encompasses Watoga in such a perfect way. Nuclear chain reactions and absolute insanity. We got some fragmentation mines, which is pretty nifty. Probably just sell those if we were going a little bit more full out. You guys can see that my buddy Vagabond did actually go. He's continuing exploring east and trying to see what that area goes. I'm trying to find this assault rifle, which is a level 35, so we're not going to be using that one for a little while, unfortunately. But I want to get my B.E.T.A up in this power armor, and while we might not be able to just go into it right away, if we take out the T60 legs, then we will be able to, because the power armor itself doesn't have a level limit, so we can go ahead and pick those up, and then we can enter into the power armor, which will give us a couple of very nice benefits. Of course, we do have an increased weight capacity, I don't know if it really increases our armor since we literally have no armor on the power armor, but nonetheless, man, it allows us to move a lot more weight than usual. A couple of cool things, like I think if we like go off a cliff or something, we might even like ground pound a little bit. I'm not entirely sure on that one, but just your usual power armor stuff, which is way better than your usual not power armor stuff, so I could get behind it. It is powered by the fusion core, as you guys can see in the lower right-hand corner. To the left of that AP dial, you guys can see the power core. This is our only power core, so if and when this does run out, we will need to find another through some sort of means to go ahead and continue utilizing the power armor. But at this point, I'm trying to scheme my way into the mayor's office. I want to follow this and see what's happening. There's that Assaultron I was talking about trying to attack us. I still have PTSD from that thing and Fallout 4. So I'm just, especially with that thing being level 24, I'm like, okay, let's get out of here. Not trying to stick around for that. I will avenge you, Assaultron, but I will do that avenging when we're doing our full playthrough, and I'm not a level 8 in the middle of probably a very end game zone, but up to the mayor's office we go while that government worker was trying to gun us down in the elevator shaft. Sorry, my dude, nothing for you. Unfortunately, this is no joke of a place either. Right away, I just gotta back up, close the door. I'm like, vagabond, requesting assistance, please. There you guys can see a couple of those other miscellaneous quests. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Watauga has so many different quests, and I can't wait to get here in the full version because it's going to be so awesome to check out all of them and see which of them are true chests and true quests, and which of them are just kind of like little miscellaneous tasks. But I do think that heading to the mayor's office, literally as soon as you get into the city limits, they tell you to go to the mayor's office. I think that's going to unveil some sort of quest line throughout the city because it does seem like a pop-in location. And my buddy was actually going to the east to try to check out that little bat thing and to see if that might be so, I don't know, like some sort of cryptid might show up, some sort of special enemy. That does not appear to be the case though, so at this point I don't really know what I'm doing here. I was just kind of like checking out the interface a bit, maybe seeing if I can't tell him to get his buns over here. But the time has come for me to get my buns out and about into this level 20 zone that hopefully we'll be able to go ahead and take down. There's a lot of Scorched here trying to take us down, but we have on our hands a pistol, and I think I'm gonna be whipping out, yeah, we gonna be whipping out some shotgun rain, taking these dudes down. And sure, they might be very high level, but the shotgun rain cares not about your level, it cares about your death, and it is going to ensure such a thing happens. This Zealot over here though, doing a lot of damage, and they chip away more health than I'm used to with a lot of other encounters. You guys can see our health going down to 30%. We're able to take down yet another one, which leaves this Scorched believer, and I'm just trying to reload, and this guy came out of nowhere and boogie down slapped us, and here we are, critically injured as they casually walk away. Cool beans, bro. Appreciate it. Just gonna leave me here? Not gonna kill me? No? All right. I'm just gonna continue dying. Don't mind me. But yeah, that's what I was talking about though. I thought that I still had the perk card equipped. Maybe it doesn't work when you have power armor, but I think at some point I had a perk card that should automatically use the stim pack whenever you get below 20% HP. So I think that's why I didn't have the state of mind or like the presence of mind to actually stim pack myself there. But it's all good. We're gonna be making our way back over. You guys can see that there's actually a lot of different locations around Watoga that you can spawn at. All those little blue icons, I believe, are different types of buildings you can load into, and different types of different types of buildings you can load into, and different types of locations themselves that you can fast travel to. And I just want to find more places like Watoga, dude. These densely compacted, ton of things to do in a small area. I think there should be more than just one in the lower right-hand corner. I think there might be present in actually a couple of corners. They're probably going to be as far away as possible from the center area to make sure that you, before you get out there, hopefully have a good amount of EXP under your belt and aren't just going in like I am, where you bum rush it. Not a good idea to bum rush it, I tell you what. But taking these dudes out, a little bit of shotgun rain, great idea. 10 out of 10. Would do again. But this is what I'm talking about, man. This place is a war zone. If you're out in the streets of Watoga, I'm just telling you right now, odds are you're getting shot at by something. It's brutal. It is brutal. And I don't think I actually ever saw any super mutants in the city. I definitely saw them over on the outskirts trying to get into the city. So it just seems like there's a lot of stuff going on in Watoga. And I really do want to see if there is that Brotherhood connection, maybe through one of the quest lines that we can do. But for now, I'm making my way back to the mayor's office, while a couple of those other locations do seem cool. The coolest one to me is the mayor, because that's what the transmission was telling me as soon as I got into the limits. I wanted to see what that shindig was all about, you know? And so does Vagabond over here, but he's not having a fun time dealing with all those enemies, so I'm just trying to get to the elevator, and I'm like, yo, dude, follow me. We gotta get out of here. And of course, give him a little bit of support, because, well, 2 level 6s. I think I'm level 7 or 8, but you know, us low levels, we gotta look out for each other. Especially when, well, we're the same freaking level. Then we definitely gotta get to looking out, but they're just damaging me. I didn't want to use all my stim packs. I'm like, all right, upsy daisies. Up we go. I'm done shooting at you dudes, because they just keep on coming, dude. It is a constant stream. And we're back here, and I am going to press the button to close the door, because I am waiting for Vagabond this time. I learned my lesson last time. I am not going to try to do a place like this solo. And I'm just trying to make sure that those Scorch don't notice me. And there you go. Vagabond's in, so I'm like, all right, dude, on 3, we got to go do this. 1, 2, 3. There's an enemy over there. Hope you're ready to go, because the going is going to get rough. Him and his little Argyle, beautiful green Argyle jacket. And this guy survived. You guys can see that the other people died. These guys are back at full health, so I think the way that it works is if you're in an instance like this, if you kill someone, they will stay dead, but if you injure them, they will heal back up to full health. Because we definitely dished out some shotgun rain on some of these schmucks, and there's plenty more to dish out where that came from as well. And with Vagabond on my back, I got a lot more trust in my abilities and in our abilities in total, since we do have each other to fall back on. And some more shotgun rain, because these guys just drop dope loot, dude. Short hunting rifle, maybe not super dope, but you gotta admit, pretty nifty. Pretty nifty. And I'm just going through and trying to, you know, get another perk pack and another level. Bada boom, bada bing. Perk pack number 2 and a couple of the perks we did unlock there. This one, the licensed plumber, dude, there's always that one perk card that has that kind of like gold background to it, you know? The one that kind of has like special noise when it opens. So I wonder if there are quote unquote rare perks, you know, that you might be able to find. I can definitely see that happen. I wasn't able to clarify that or get any clarification on that because I didn't have the, I didn't ask in the moment, which I definitely should have. We did have the opportunity to ask the devs a couple of questions, which I did, and that is actually where some of the information I'm letting you guys know about is coming from. And long story short, man, just after playing all this, I need that full beta in my hand so I could go at my own pace, build up my base, do all these quests, and probably get ourselves into some PvP combat as well. Cannot forget about that portion. Oh, no, no, no. Not today. And here's another thing that I'm doing. All these perk cards that we've gotten, even though we haven't put any points into some skills like perception, charisma, etc., what we do need to remember is that we already start with 1 point in each of those. And the way that it works is each perk card, depending on, I don't know if it depends on the level or what it is, but each perk card has a number associated with it, and that is the number of your points it uses. So like if you have a charisma point card that has like the number 2, for example, then you need minimum 2 charisma to utilize it. However, let's say you have 3 charisma, then you could equip the 2 charisma card and maybe another charisma card that uses 1. And so it just kind of like, it's not like you need to level them up to use different types of perk cards, but you do need to level up different skills to use better perk cards and to use combinations of perk cards on top of that. And perk cards are probably going to be pretty important moving forward, since they're kind of like one of the main, I mean, they're pretty much the perks of this game, you know? You do get to level up your attributes, which does help you, but your attributes aren't as special as the perks and the abilities that they grant. And at this point, our ability that we're trying to grant is going through this area and finding out that, oh, there's way more scorched up there. So we're going to try to make our way over to them and take them down like the filthy little rats they are, and continue climbing through here. Because the mayor's office, man, is no breeze to get to where we want to go, but we're going to do our best to get there. A couple of different side rooms that I'm interested in trying to find out and get into, see what they might have to offer. I'm not sure if we end up, oh, and there we got a Scorched Warrior. I don't know if that was a glitch. Sometimes the enemies would just kind of like chill like that and not attack unless you attack them first. I think that was one instance of it. I'm trying to melee him. As you can see, our melee isn't doing much. That guy had shotgun shells and a shotgun though, so I'm jumping down to go and get him. I'm trying to find out where he might have fallen on the ground. It was a little bit dark when we were playing, so we got to collect those, but the over encumbrance kicks in. And this is where the problems begin. We do have the power armor, which is a little bit helpful, and our AP isn't being drained as fast, but it is still going down. Here I'm scrolling through trying to find just something we could go ahead and ditch really quickly. At this point, I think I just end up like ditching some heavy things because I know that we've been playing it for a long time. Our demo's about to end. As much as I'd love to stick around and hold on to some of these things, it literally doesn't matter because our time is coming to an end. So I would definitely play this off differently if this was in our full playthrough that we will be able to keep the progress on, which again is going to be starting this month. Make sure you stay tuned for that type of jazz, and make sure that you guys go ahead and let me know what you think of Fallout 76 in that comment section down below, especially this Watauga area. That guy can't be revived. He dead AF, my boys. But especially this Watauga area, which is kind of like just, I feel like it just gives a new definition to insanity. And speaking of a new definition of insanity, someone initiated a nuke launch. And as you guys can see, this is what happens when a nuke is launched. It notifies you, hey, nuke inbound. You'll actually end up seeing some information on the map when I do go ahead and peek at that. But for now, you guys actually could see in the upper right-hand corner, there was a quest denoting how much time there is left over until the nuke does end up landing. So I'm like, yo, we gotta fast travel. We gotta get over there. What's popping? We gotta do this as soon as this loading screen is done, because it's loading us into a very insane place, Watoga, where there's just non-stop action, and that's actually gonna end up being a little bit problematic because I want to fast travel back to thank you, Municipal Center. But you guys can see over there, that's actually a quest line, but if we keep on going, that is the blast zone denoting the nuke and where it's coming. So I'm trying to fast travel over to Vault 76 so we can see what's popping off. But first things first, in usual Fallout fashion, you can't fast travel somewhere when there's enemies nearby. So we were literally in the worst place possible for when the beginning of the nuke was going to happen, because there's a lot of enemies nearby. A lot of enemies. So my game plan, I just start running out of the freaking city limits. I'm just like, dude, I don't care if I die. I don't care what goes down. I gotta get out of this. I gotta see that nuke drop and the big boom that will mark the finale of our Greenbrier gameplay playthrough. Plenty more to come though. No worries, no worries. I'm a Fallout nut, and to see Fallout 76 come in the way that it is, there's gonna be a whole ton that I want to explore, whole ton that I want to build, and a whole ton that I want to run away from. For now, Watauga. We'll come back and we will attack Watauga a little bit more in full. Don't worry. But for now, I'm just trying to get the hell out of Dodge so we can maybe fast travel, and I end up running across the Gulper. I do not know what this thing is. I'm trying to fight it. As you can see, it is definitely not a pushover. We're doing a little bit of damage to it, but our shotgun can only do so much, and apparently it's giving us a disease when it attacks us. Not just that, dude, it's taking out like 10% of our health per attack. So I'm letting this do its thing, because if we die, I'm a whoop. Jesus, did you guys just see my body? I totally forgot that happened, but with our death, we are granted the ability to respawn, and I, of course, choose to respawn over at Vault 76. And with that, you guys can hear those dramatic noises. I don't think those are the fast travel noises. I think those are the death from above noises. But yeah, when the nuke does come in the upper right-hand corner, you guys can see that there was that little countdown timer until it does drop. So it gives you about a 3-minute buffer once it is called in. It acts like a quest pretty much, which is kind of cool to see. But cop a peek at that upper right-hand corner as soon as we pop in. You guys can see that there's 3, 2, 1, 0 seconds, and the nuke is inbound. Unfortunately, something a little bit poopy happened. You guys could hear it come down. You could see the screen shake. You could even see all the particles flying our way over from where it begun. But because we just fast traveled in, we did unfortunately miss the beginning of it. But there she blows, the beauty of the nuke. And it wouldn't be beautiful to get caught in that. That's for sure. But holy hell, is that beautiful to look at in the most Fallout fashion possible. Ain't nothing more Fallout than a nuke. Nukes, plural, are what started this whole shindig. So what could I say? Watching a beautiful one like that you're able to call in yourself. And I cannot wait until we discover that ability either. When we can call in nukes ourselves, that is going to be crazy. But check it out. Nuclear blast zones are full of radiation and dangerous weather. Equipped a hazmat suit, gas mask, or power armor to prevent radiation, mutations, and diseases. Unfortunately, that is not going to be happening for us. I'm just trying to down all the rad-X I can and survive this blast, but unfortunately, that won't be happening. So exploring the Fallout zone, which apparently it transforms the area into a huge high-level area with tons of crazy mutants, but also tons of very valuable resources, something that we will also be doing in that full series that I was talking about. So make sure that you guys stay tuned with that notification bell hit, along with all the other dope survival games that we are going to be posting on our channel. Go ahead and let me know in that comment section down below what you're most looking forward to and what you are thinking of the game so far. Not to mention hitting that like button. That's going to go ahead and do it for me. Thank you guys a whole ton for watching. This was an awesome one. I'll talk to you next one. See ya.